all the people that used to work at Willowbrook, the doctors and the social, they were fired because they joined the parents. The audience. There were over 5,000 people in the institution. Every building had about 300 people. And you multiply that by 4. There were about 80 people on the ward. And 2 staff to take care of all 80 people, sometimes 1. And that's impossible.
Bernard, you've talked about the staff at Willowbrook and how there weren't enough staff. What's the important thing about staff for people with disabilities?
They're very important to us because they take care of the people that need to be taken care of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We were talking about.
And you've also talked about the importance of paying staff well. Do you want to say more about why you believe we should pay staff well?
Because the people that they take care of are very, very important to all of us. And that's a very important job. And they need to be recognized that. So, we need to pay them more so we can hang on to them. Instead of having different people every day. And that's not fair to the people that they take care of.
That's great. How have things changed since Willowbrook? When you look at how things were back at Willowbrook and things were today.
Willowbrook doesn't exist as a college.
Yeah, Willowbrook is a college now, right?
Yeah. It's called the College of Staten Island.
And have things gotten better for people with disabilities?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no. When you live with 10 other people and you guys share a room with somebody you don't know what you know them, but you want to have your own privacy. That I'm gonna have to say no.
Yeah, so you're still focused on independent living?
Correct.
So after you got out of Willowbrook, you worked for the state, for the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, and you also started the Self-Advocacy Association. Why was it important for you to promote self-advocacy?
Because I wanted everyone to have a voice, to have a platform, so their voices could be heard. Yeah, that's why.
So I've met some of the self-advocates in this group, and I've seen them do a bunch of advocacy. I saw Josh Derrick in Albany a couple weeks ago speaking up for himself. Josh Derrick, who's one of the self-advocates in the room, he's wearing a green hat. But what advice would you give to self-advocates who are doing advocacy or talking to legislators? What advice would you give to them?
Make sure when you go see the legislature, the legislators, make sure you have your ducks in a row, right? What you want to say before you get there, not while you're there.
Yeah, be prepared.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of self-advocacy supporters on this call as well, different staff and folks who run some of the programs. What advice would you give to people who support people with disabilities?
Listen to the people that you care about. This gotta be a two-way street.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Bernard, we're going to open it up for questions, but I also wanted to know if you had any questions for the self-advocacy group or the self-advocates before they ask questions of you.
Yeah, what kind of... No, I don't.
All right.
I want to hear them.
Oh, I know we got some sound, but Bernard, you said you want to hear from them. So I think we're going to open it up for questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay, go ahead.
Sorry, we've got one over here.
How
How long was he in Willowbrook?
Yeah, how long has he been in Willowbrook?
How long?
18 years.
18 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what age were you when you went into Willowbrook?
I was 3 years old when I got out. I was 22 years old.
And do you have any early memories? Like, what is your earliest memory?
I tried to not think about that.
Okay, that's fair. All right, other questions?
Mel?
Did you keep in contact with the people that lived with you?
No. I used to. But not now.
Yeah, it's harder to stay in contact with folks. But Bernard, you knew Henry Wesley, who was another Willowbrook survivor, right before he passed away.
He grew up with me. We were both in building 2. That's the building behind my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're still in touch with some of the parents and doctors from Willowbrook, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to? So you're friends with Dr. Mike Wilkins, who is the doctor who stole the keys to Willowbrook.
Right.
You want to talk a bit about your friendship with him and what he did?
Dr. Wilkins was one of the best doctors in Willowbrook. And he risked his career because he believed that everybody should be cared for, taken care of. In the same way, you and I would want to be taken care of if we got sick or anything like that. And we did not get the right kind of care.
Yeah, and I have had the chance to meet Dr. Wilkins through you because you guys are still friends. And then you're still friends with you mentioned that you did a lot of advocacy with parents groups, and I know you're still friends with some of the parents like Diana McCourt and the Dolans.
Yeah, I still keep in touch. And
why was it important for you to work with parents of people with disabilities?
because I wanted them to know what was going on in the institution. They never knew what was going on because they were never allowed. They were never allowed to come on the board.
I'm glad you got to work with them.
Yeah.
Let's open it up again for some other questions. What are some other questions that people have? I see a hand in the room.
Yeah, Rini.
Are you still, do you still, associate with, Geraldo Rivera?
I do. I spoke with him yesterday.
Yeah, so you and Geraldo are still good
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
And
he's old now.
maybe you can tell people who don't know what did Geraldo do for Willowbrook?
About what was a news reporter here in New York City for Eyewitness News in New York. And he was the one that snuck in the institution and report what was going on.
Yeah, and you guys still get to do a lot of stuff together. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I know you two marched in the Puerto Rican Day Parade last year.
We did.
And Geraldo invites you whenever he has a speaking opportunity. He invites you. So I know that's been a good relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, some more questions. What are some other questions?
What inspired you to start SANYS?
Because I believe that everybody should have a platform to speak up on and to tell your stories and talk about what you need in your life and to advocate for other people who cannot advocate for themselves.
There you go. You say it again.
So thanks for answering my question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back there.
Brenna?
Go ahead. Huh?
If you could
Just 1 second, Bernard.
say about your experience with Willowbrook, what you could say. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to know more about what happened? Like,
I can't hear you.
So if
Becca, yeah, if you could repeat the question.
yeah,
Thanks.
Brenna said if you could tell anybody like one thing about Willowbrook, what would you say?
No more rule books. They don't work.
Yeah, we're not going back, right?
No. They don't work. They're not good for people. No more rule books.
We've got another question in here, Mike.
Yeah. I watched the news about Willowbrook, was pretty sad. See these people get abused and stuff. Made me sad to watch that, really. Geraldo did a good job taking that place. It was horrible place sorry for you guys, Willowbrook.
Said that Geraldo did a good job to do that
Yeah,
for you guys.
guys, yeah.
Yeah, and that the Willowbrook stuff was very sad. I
Yeah.
still feel sad when I see the videos. What would you say to people who feel sad when they think about Willowbrook?
Don't feel sorry. They're not there no more. They're out in the community with all of us. But we gotta make sure that the homes don't look like institutions.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And the people living in the house, they have to speak up and say what they want. Because there's some institutions. How could I say this? There's some institutions are going on in the group home because they haven't gotten out of that institution.
You're saying there's some group homes and other settings that are run with a similar institutional mindset.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what's the best thing people can do to prevent that, to make sure that settings are run?
They gotta talk with the director, and they need to tell the director what directions they need to go.
Yeah, so making sure the self-advocates have good connections with
But
directors.
the woman on the staff, woman on yourself, at your house, you need to make the change.
Yeah, you need to speak up and make the changes.
Yes.
I'll also say, because you referenced it earlier, on the actual, if you go to the physical Willowbrook, it's a college now. And one of your friends, Carol Gothelf, she started a education program there where students with disabilities actually go to college with support from staff. And that's very cool to me whenever I see that, is seeing like young people, they don't even know what happened at Willowbrook, but they're on the campus going to school.
And that's what you all should do, is start colleges and get somebody to help you do it. You could go to college too.
Yeah. All right, maybe some other questions?
Hi, I have a question.
Go ahead.
First of all, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Shannon Zellis, and one of the first things when I became a DSP supervisor, we watched a video of Willowbrook in training, and we were warned ahead of time how difficult of a watch it would be. I have made it a point to make sure all of my staff who are able to watch it really watch the video to understand just why staff is so important and how to treat every individual we support, because we can never go back to those days.
And we gotta do the same thing to the staff. We gotta treat them nice also. That's our way to say thank you to you all.
Yeah, you've spoken up a lot about better pay for staff. Do you want to say more about the staff pay?
Yeah, they're not getting paid. They're still getting paid, what, $17 an hour? That should be up to $25 an hour. And keep in mind, the nurses in the public hospital just got a big fat increase in this. So they're making over $100,000 a year now. I think our staff should get at least $45 an hour. That's not asking for much.
Yeah, and I know I've seen a bunch of self-advocates on this call up in Albany asking for better pay for their staff. So I know this group hears it.
The group, the self-advocacy group, need to get together, sit down, and write to the city of Albany legislators and tell them what they want for their staff. That's the next project they need to do. You need to tell all of that.
Yeah, have the self-advocates talking to legislators directly.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Other questions? I saw a hand in the room that says Tammy Beaumont, I think.
Yep, Dave has a question he wants to ask.
Did you guys ever work with Tom Pomeroy's?
Say that again.
Tom Pomeroy's.
Pomeroy's? He wants to know if you ever worked with Tom Pomeroy's.
I never heard. I don't know.
Yeah, I that name's not familiar to me. You know, Bernard, you did work for OPWDD for many years as an ombudsman.
Right.
And you knew a lot of staff there. And then your job when you were doing that was really, you know, the same thing, to stand up for people with disabilities and parents. Yeah, but you're retired now, but you know, I know you're still friends with some people you worked at OPWDD.
Yeah.
Other questions? Oh, go ahead.
When we were at the SANYS conference, you attended via Zoom, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the fun that you tried to have at Willowbrook. I remember there's part of your book you would talk about different things that you would do with your friends there and different pranks that you would pull. So I was wondering if you would talk a little bit about that.
When I was a kid, 4 or 5 years old, we used to play cowboy and Indian. I always been the good guy, getting the bad guys. I did a lot of good things. I did a lot of not so good things, like go in the kitchen and see what I could get out of the refrigerator. I mean, it was cool. I got my ass whooped for that. But I keep doing it again and again. I liked it.
So you're saying you were a troublemaker?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember you also worked as like a custodian at Willowbrook. Why did you, what was that like?
What?
You worked as like a custodian? You got a job eventually? What was that like?
Yeah, I used to sweep the floor, buff the forehead, and I got $5 a week. And you figure that way out.
Yeah.
They told me that was my bread and butter. No. I forgot how they were there. By me getting services from Willowbrook, I had to work for it.
They told you had to work for it?
Yeah, that was my pay.
That was your pay?
Then I called them a cheap F.
Would you call them cheap?
Yeah, they wouldn't pay me.
Because they wouldn't pay you.
I said, you cheap F. F. You got it?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was sort of a form of speaking up for yourself too, right? Sort of antagonizing people.
In those days, you couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that.
No.
Why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you antagonize people.
You got your ass whooped if you did that. You can be seen but not heard.
Yeah, so you're saying they were abusive to you if you spoke up for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to speak up for yourself anyway.
Oh, I did it anyway.
But I see we have some other questions, a bunch of other questions.
Okay.
If we want to go to Tammy with Michelle.
Is there any other survivors from
Willowbrook.
Willowbrook?
Yes. I don't know where they are, but the answer is yes.
Yeah, so my understanding, Bernard, is the Willowbrook survivors are represented as a Willowbrook class. And so that, a lot of people have passed away from age, but there's still some alive who are still part of the class. Is that right?
Yeah, the class is not over until the last person is no longer on this earth.
Though you are actually not part of the Willowbrook class because you left early. Is that right?
I left before the signing of the decree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Michelle, we do have, correct me if I'm wrong, Bernard or Evan, when Willowbrook was shut down, they kind of sent the people who had lived there and were supported there to different places around New York. So Michelle, we have a few people that we support here that are from Willowbrook.
Let me ask you a question. The few people that you support there, do they have family that comes visit them?
Yeah, the question is if the Willowbrook class members you guys support, if they have family that visit them.
That I'm not sure. Is there anybody from here that would be able to answer that?
Because that was one of the reasons why they went upstate in the New York area, because they had no correspondence that come visit them.
Yeah, my understanding is there was, when Willowbrook shut down, different agencies stepped up, but some people who had been living in New York went to upstate, and as Bernard says, those tended to be the people who didn't have connections, whereas people who had connections may have stayed at provider agencies in New York City.
There was a lot of agencies did not want to take our people because they were too low functioning, and I got pissed off about that.
Yeah, you're saying that some provider agencies, they wanted to take on people with lower support needs, but they didn't want to take on people with higher support needs?
No, they never wanted to take people with lower support. Meaning they didn't want to take people that need to be taken care of 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I think that definitely happened, and I remember even you talking about that a lot, about even when some of the institutional settings were still open in New York City.
Yeah.
Some of the people left inside were people who had the most significant support needs.
Well, we threatened to take them to court if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
There was one person that we used to support here at the Arc of Monroe. He since passed away, but he lived at Willowbrook. And his family ultimately reconnected with him. But at the time, they were told basically kind of, this is the best thing you can do for him is to put him here and kind of walk away. So they when I talked to them later, they did say that they would go to visit occasionally and they would go to the desk and a door would open and he would come out, but no one was ever allowed behind the door.
Right. Everything you said is correct. And when you were saying that, everything came back to me in my head. When you
I'm sorry to do that.
No, don't be sorry. It helped me out a lot. So let me say thank you to you.
Kristen, do you want to ask your question?
Sure. So good to see you again, Bernard. So a question I didn't get to ask you when you were in the Incredible Voice meeting, do you still hold like anger in your heart at the staff or anybody from there?
No, I overcame that. I couldn't do that because I did not want to destroy myself.
And one other, how's retirement?
I love it. I don't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to take a shower, brush my teeth, and get dressed. I can get up, but I want to get up. You have 100 more years to go.
I'll also say, Bernard, I think one of the things I've heard you say is that you had more anger at the administrators and the states who were responsible than at the staff.
Yeah. When I was in my teens, that was the worst time of my life. I was in building 6. I remember getting the crap behind me almost every day of my life. They sedated me, medicated me, put me in a straitjacket, and dragged me across the room. I remember, so I tried to block that out of my head.
Yeah, I know too, because after Willowbrook, you donated your medical papers to an archive at the College of Staten Island. And I've seen those papers, and you can see your medical records. And so you can see months and months where they would give you Thorazine, which is a sedative, every single day. And it's not something that would happen today. But that's very scary to me that it's in your records.
Well, they cannot restrain people without the commissioner approval.
Yeah.
That was part of the agreement.
We have a few questions over here. Mel, do you want to go?
I just heard that you wrote a book. How can we get any of us get
I didn't write a book. Geraldo wrote the book.
Oh, how can we get a copy of it if we want to read it?
Go on Amazon.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
can.
title? Sorry, what's the title?
It's called Willowbrook.
Yeah, there's a few books. Geraldo has a picture book. I think is that the one you're talking about, the photo book?
Yeah, the one I'm in.
Yeah, I can send Becca a copy of it because it's out of print. But Geraldo,
No, it's not out. I got mine at Amazon.
Yeah, but I think you paid a lot of money for it. Well, we can look either way, but
You're
I'll send.
Right. You're right. I paid about $65. I don't think you want to pay that.
But I can send Becca a copy, a digital copy of it, so she can share it with the group. But Geraldo has written about this a lot. But there's a book of photos, and also text that he took. It's really amazing. So I'll send that so you can share it.
Oh,
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
there's another book called A Special Kind of Courage.
Yeah, that's another good one that Geraldo wrote. And it's,
And there's a whole chapter on me.
yeah.
Rini?
Hey, when you were in Willowbrook, could you go outside?
I did, yes. When I was 8, when I was 18, 19, the answer is yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if, to me, I don't know if maybe if this is too personal to ask, but do you feel anger towards the people that put you in there at all? Or do you feel like that's where you should have been? Do you feel like you didn't get a chance to speak how you feel about, I mean, you said you were a kid when you went there. Do you feel that you didn't get the chance to say how you felt about it?
No, I didn't. And don't forget, I was just a baby when I went there.
Yeah, but don't you feel, don't you feel like they abandoned you and just put you there?
They did. They did. Because my mother almost kind of visited me about every 2 or 3 years. Go ahead.
Yeah, Joe.
I wanted to know, Bernard, when did Henry Wesley pass away? Because I used to see Henry quite often at the SANYS Western Region Conference and at the DD Day convention in Niagara Falls.
He died about 2 months ago.
Wow.
Would you say every?
I think it was maybe like a year ago. I know it was very, very sad. For people who don't know, Henry Wesley was another
right. Yeah. Why did I say 2 months ago?
I mean, I don't remember exactly, but Henry was a little.
No, I think it was less than a year ago.
Maybe. But he was a really strong self-advocate who lived in Western New York.
I grew up with Henry. Him and I was in Bill number 2 together.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, we've got another one over here. Go ahead, Jim.
What is that? What is that noise in the background?
That's the fire truck.
Yeah, Bernard's in New York City. He lives on the Upper West Side.
We get that, I'd say, about every 2 weeks.
All right, we've got another one over here. Yes, Morgan?
So when you, Bernard, when you were at Willowbrook, so what, I know the people there were treated not fairly. What
happened?
What happened?
Can you give me more information?
Yeah, was the question when people were not treated fairly, what happened?
Yeah, what do you mean? What are some of the things that had happened in Willowbrook?
Yeah.
So he's asking just what are some of the things that happened in Willowbrook?
A lot of things happen in Willowbrook. A lot.
Were
It could take days for me to tell you.
So Bernard, when bad things happened, were there any consequences for people ever? Or
Oh yeah, I got consequences. I got the crap beat out of me by this one child. I remember, and I will never forget. He asked me to do something, and I said, "No, you get paid for it. You do it." He beat that crap out of me so bad. I will never forget that day.
did staff ever have consequences?
Yeah, what the,
Like, did staff ever get in trouble?
no, because I make sure you didn't tell nobody. I was scared to tell anybody. As you can see, I grew out of that crap.
Yeah, you're not scared anymore.
No.
After Willowbrook was closed down, did the staff face any like legal?
No. They got away with it. Because nobody knew what went on there. We told them we gave an overhaul of what happened, but not specific. We didn't get down to personal stuff. Okay?
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, we've got another one here. Brenna, go ahead.
What bad stuff that happened to you?
I can't hear you.
I'll repeat it.
All the bad things that happened to you, what do you wish the world to know about you? That you tell someone if you had to tell a kid about yourself.
Yeah, so she's wondering, like, with everything that did happen to you, what could you tell the world now? Like, like if you were talking to, do you mean like a younger version of him?
A younger person.
Yeah. What would you tell somebody young?
I need help. Help me. Get me out of here.
No, what advice would you give to like a younger person if you were talking to like a child with a disability?
Now, I would say it's a lot better now, but you need to advocate for yourself and say this is not for you. And also, when you go have a meeting on yourself, you need to take part in that meeting. You just can't sit there and let them talk about you. You need to take part in that and say, this is about me, and I don't want that. That you said.
Yeah, so like making sure that you're speaking up in your life plan meeting, things like that. Make sure that you're talking to staff, talking to directors.
Yes.
I think that's great advice. Rainey?
Can you go look out your window? I mean, what did you see when you were looking out the window? Could you see the yard and everything?
On Sundays, I look out the window because that's when all the parents come and visit us. Nobody came to see me, but they did come to see other people in Willowbrook every Sunday and Wednesday. was written there.
No.
You don't have no contact with your family?
I do, but there's no emotion between me and my family. I like them, I respect it, that's about it.
Yeah, and your brother David was actually in a different kind of institution. He was in an orphanage nearby on Staten Island.
Mount Loretta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he went to college and all that.
Right. Yeah, it was different.
He went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Bernard, what was your schooling like in Willowbrook?
It was good. They always could teach you up to a 5th grade, and after that, they could not go beyond that. I am self-educated, and I kind of screwed up also, because I was acting like a clown, but I should have kept my ass listening to the teachers. We are good teachers, I have to say that. Most of my education is my fault. I should have took better responsibility for that.
Did you say you were a class clown?
Yes.
I've said this before, but Bernard is, if you talk, the people that I've talked to who knew him at Willowbrook, they all say the same thing, which is that he was so funny because Bernard used to do stand-up comedy shows. He would dress up like the staff and like pretend to be them and do his comedy routine. And everyone who knew him at Willowbrook, that's the first thing they tell me about him, is just how funny he was. And I think that helped him make connections with people, as being very funny.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah, Tammy?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Laura Lee, and I would like to know, what do you do for fun?
I'm on the computer for 7 days a week. No, I go out also. I live in the best neighborhood in New York City. I'm right behind Lincoln Center.
And you watch a lot of news. Every time the president does something, I get a call from you.
Yeah, I look at MS Now.
Yeah.
You used to be MSNBC, now MS Now. I am very political. Don't you agree, Ed?
Yeah, I would think every time the president does something, I get a phone call from you about it. Yeah. But I know you also do other things for fun. You're very social. You talk to your friends on the phone all the time.
I do.
Yeah. And there's other TV shows like Catfish. You're a big fan of the TV show Catfish?
That was canceled.
Yeah.
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle.
Do you have a favorite food that you like? New York City?
Yes, spaghetti and meatballs and macaroni and cheese. Shall I go on or could I stop?
question for you. In Willowbrook, how does that make you feel in real life when something happens?
Say it again.
I said, I'm Mr. Johnson. I just want to know, how does it make you feel in Willowbrook when someone treat you unfairly?
Did you hear?
I feel awful. I feel angry. I feel like I want to hit back, but I can't. They can hit me. I can't hit them. There's something wrong with this picture, right?
Joe, did you have a question? Did you raise your hand? No? Okay. Rainey?
Yeah, what was your day like? I mean, you had to get up in the morning and then what was that day?
I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to get ready for breakfast. 5 o'clock in the morning. And now I can't get out of the habit. I still get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so they got you up early, and then I know you've talked about like the meal situation, which was not fun.
If you want to call it that, it was awful.
So I know we only have a few more minutes, but is there any last things that folks want to say, or Bernard, that you want to say to the group?
Yeah, keep advocating for yourself. And every now and then, you can say thank you to the staff who takes care of you. That's important. They need to hear it from you. Okay?
Thank you. I think that's really great advice.
Make me want to cry.
Bernard, do you have Facebook or Instagram?
I got Facebook. I'm on Facebook.
All right. Yeah, James.
I don't look at it that much.
So how far is Willowbrook from Rochester?
Ooh, how far is Willowbrook from Rochester? It's a very long way. I mean, it's in New York
5
City.
hours.
Yeah, at least 5 hours, because then you'd still have to get to Staten Island.
Right.
But there were institutions in other parts of the state, right? So there was
yeah, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse.
Yeah.
Letchworth Village.
Yep, Letchworth. Yep.
They closed.
Yeah, those have closed.
Yeah, Letchworth Village. When somebody died, they would bury them in pilot field or on the grounds of Letchworth.
Yeah.
It looks like we just have one more question if you're okay with answering that.
Yes.
Joyce?
It's not a question, it's a thank you. I was able to advocate for my sister Jamie because of what you did, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what? After that, I'll never forget you. Never. I got you in my head. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. I needed that.
Yeah, and I guess to wrap up, I'll just say thank you to Becca for setting this up, and thank you to all the advocates. You know, I recognize a lot of faces of self-advocates here, so I know
Thank
you guys are doing the
everyone.
good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Evan, for helping
Thank
set
you.
this up.
Goodbye.
There you go.
Bye.
Right. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bernard.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.